Hello, everyone. I'm Claire Stewart. Thanks for joining us tonight. President Barack Obama says he will still recognize a National Day of Prayer, even though a federal judge has ruled it unconstitutional.
A federal district court in Wisconsin has declared the National Day of Prayer unconstitutional. That decision comes in a case filed by the Freedom from Religion Foundation, which challenged the constitutionality of a federal law giving the president the authority to designate the first Thursday in May as a National Day of Prayer.
If a federal judge's ruling is allowed to stand, this year's National Day of Prayer could likely be the country's last. And now both sides say that ruling could have a much larger effect on government and religion. U.S. District Judge Barbara Crabb wrote that the day violates the constitutional separation of church and state, and that it, quote, serves no purpose but to encourage a religious exercise, making it difficult for a reasonable observer to see the statute as anything other than a religious endorsement. The plaintiffs in the case, members of the Freedom from Religion Foundation, say Crabb's ruling is a cause for celebration.
We want you to keep out of the religion business. It's not an appropriate proclamation. You should not be asking constituents to pray. You do not have the power to ask constituents to pray.
Because if a National Day of Prayer is unconstitutional, then is it unconstitutional to have our federal Christmas holiday? Is it unconstitutional to open up every session of Congress with a prayer from a chaplain? Is it unconstitutional to have "In God We Trust" on our coins and money?
We're in war, and we need to pray for our military. We need to pray for our president and all those that are in authority. That's what the National Day of Prayer is all about. It's not about Islam versus Christianity or whatever. It's about a nation coming together and praying for its leadership, and that's what we're going to do on May 6th, National Day of Prayer.
Right. Well, first of all, let me say that I am all in favor of a proper separation of church and state, in which the government allows and protects the freedom for the exercise of religion, and secondly, does not choose one denomination or religion over another. But what we're talking about here is a National Day of Prayer has nothing to do with supporting one religion over another. In fact, it's not even about religion. It's about an expression of faith. Well, it's funny that you're suggesting that you're being excluded from a day of prayer, and when you say that prayer is dangerous. That'd be like me saying I'm being excluded from some event that you're putting on that I don't believe in.
Dan, what's your problem? What's the problem with this event? I mean, there's a lot of people that really get a lot of, spiritual goodness out of this event. So why not just let them do it?
Well, they can do it privately. Our problem is with the government doing it. There's a difference between free speech and government speech. Read the judge's good decision. The United States is a secular country. Our nation cannot officially endorse a religious ritual. They're free to pray, but without the endorsement of the national government.
He's saying, go ahead, have a day of prayer, but it can't be government-led. It can't be government-sponsored under church and state.